Say hi. Say hi.
Hey, you.
Hi.
It's Monday, 10:30. I haven't filmed all day because I'm not feeling the best, and I can tell you, I do not feel like making a video right now, but that's the point of these videos every day, is to make sure that you make one every day, whether you feel like it or not. So, here's my response to the questions I got from my video about why education is a scam. First comment is a friend of mine called Rosemary. I went to school with her. One thing I'll say about these videos I think is funny. When you're talking to normal people, they don't know your high school grades or anything like that. No one knows what you got in high school. So I said I got 90s in high school, which most people would never know whether I did or not. But what I forgot is that when you post something on Facebook, those are your friends who went to high school, and they do know your fucking grades. And I'm surprised no one said anything, because it's not like I got straight 90s. That's a lie. I might have got some 90s, but I definitely didn't get straight 90s. So that is wrong, and I'll correct that, because I said that. And you know how it is. You just shoot, and as I'm watching it back, I'm like, fuck, I wish I didn't say that, but it's too late. I got to upload it. So she says that she disagrees that school's a scam because accountants, lawyers, engineers, blah, 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 are required to get expensive, schooling, or they can't even get through the door. But my thing is that this barrier to entry, I believe, over time is getting smaller and smaller, easier and easier. For example, maybe a real estate agent 50 years ago was the only way you could sell your house, was a lot harder to get, and now becoming a real estate agent is a lot easier, and you're even allowed to sell your house yourself due to the internet, due to how it's a lot easier to market nowadays. And I believe that the same thing will happen with accountants, with lawyers. There's a site called LegalZoom where you can basically hire freelance lawyers, kind of the same way you'd hire a freelance programmer. And they give you a lot of like very cheap legal services, just piecework, like pieces. Instead of lawyers having to go to a big firm doing it the old way, it just connects lawyers with people at much more reasonable rates. And even I'm just picking lawyers because she's a lawyer, but for example, lawyers, you're not allowed to practice law unless you've become a lawyer, but being a lawyer is not that hard. Let's be realistic. You don't really need a law degree to do the work if it was legal. So my thing is, down the line, I believe as our kids grow up, these barriers to entry will be less and less. And not only that, I think it's very telling. I think the last comment was someone saying, you know what, she says basically that at the end of the day, it's your own decision what you want to encourage your kids to do. And I think that kind of hits the nail on the head, is it wrong for me to say that my ideal goal for my daughter is not for her to go get a degree and become a lawyer and go to work and go to work for a boss all day and do what she's told? That is not my idea of her succeeding. I'm not saying if she does that and she finds that as her passion, that's fine. I'll support her. But I would not tell her that that's the goal. To me, the goal should be to create not that it should be, but this is what I want for her. I'm allowed to want what I want, right? I don't want her to go become one of these professions that you listed here: doctor, lawyer, accountant, engineer, whatever, a teacher. There's nothing wrong with it, but that's what everyone tells kids that you need to be. And I wouldn't tell her that. I would say that the path to happiness, the path to success, is to come up with your own ideas. Do something where you might fail. And then once you learn how to have your own success without being, going to work and listening to a boss and doing something like you're saying here, these lawyers, these accountants, these jobs, which in my opinion, the value of them is going down and down and down. The guy who for example, the lawyer who started a site called LegalZoom, that guy's making the real money. The freelance lawyers, the guy who just shows up to work, it's not that they're a fuck up or anything like that. It's just that that's not what I would encourage her as the ultimate goal. I would tell her the opposite, that if you want to fall back on that, that's kind of a mediocre goal. If you're mediocre, go to school and get a job. If you want to really impress me, then do something on your own. That's how I think. Now, as far as Jeff gives me a nice one here, he says, first off, being successful is not about how much money you earn. It's about attaining one's goals. And I've heard this definition of success before, and it's all right, but I think it's kind of a bullshit definition, and here's why. People who judge success, and this is common, by the way, he's not the first guy to do this, and I'm not the first one to point out that this is a shitty definition, is that, so what if Ivy defines her goals as graduating high school, or what if she defines her goals as brushing her teeth? Then she's the most successful person who ever lived because she attains her goals every morning, but within 5 minutes of waking up? No. So your success cannot be about attaining your goals, because then just set your goals low, have no ambition, and then you're successful. That's not success. The most successful person in the world is not the one who attains their goals, because the way to be successful is just have no ambition, have no goals. You'll be successful. Just be happy with where you are right now. Then you're successful. That's being happy. Happiness is a whole other thing besides success. To me, success has to be something about obtaining extraordinary accomplishments. To me, the most successful guy in the world, the most successful person in the world is who's got the most extraordinary accomplishments. Okay? And to me, extraordinary accomplishments, like you say, it's not about making money. And that's why I would tell her, don't bother going to school. Don't bother going to law school to go get a job and make, even if you consider it good money, to make good money working for somebody else and doing what someone else tells you to do is not success. That's not what I want for her. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm not attacking any person individually. I wouldn't do that. I'm just trying to shift the mindset of the message that we tell our kids about what's valuable and what's not. And my whole thing is trying to say that learning to follow the rules in today's economy is not valuable. Learning to memorize a bunch of shit, learning how to write, but not having anything interesting to say is not valuable. What's valuable is your own ideas, knowing how to solve hard problems. And that's what I want to see out of her, and that's what I think she's got in her. So, tomorrow we're back to the vlogs. I'm going to upload this. I don't even know if I will put it on Facebook, but I probably will so these people can see it. I'll see you tomorrow.